All right, Jane, I'm going to drop a truth bomb right off the bat today, something that honestly blew my mind when I first learned it. And it's about a place we all know, a continent that's foundational to humanity.
Oh, Don, you always start with these intriguing hooks. You've got my attention. What's the bombshell? Is it about its age, its size? What are we talking about?
It's about its name, or rather, its unname. The continent we commonly refer to as Africa, that's not its real name. Not its original indigenous name, anyway. In fact, it's had several names throughout history, given by its own people, long before any external forces came along.
Wait, really? Africa isn't its real name? I mean, I know names change and history's full of retellings, but Africa feels so cemented, like it's just Africa. So what is its real name then, or names?
Exactly, it feels cemented, doesn't it? Because that's what we've been taught, it's what's been propagated for centuries. But one of the most compelling and frankly beautiful names for that landmass is Alkebulan, spelled Alkebulan.
Alkebulan. That sounds powerful. I've never heard that before. What does it mean? Where does it come from?
It's incredible, right? Alkebulan is considered by many historians and cultural scholars to be one of the oldest and most indigenous names for the continent. And its meaning is just beautiful, Mother of Mankind, or Garden of Eden. Think about that for a second. The very cradle of humanity, calling itself the Mother of Mankind.
Wow. Mother of Mankind. That really resonates given what we know about human origins in East Africa. It's not just a name, it's a description of its fundamental identity. So if Alkebulan was the name, how did we end up with Africa?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The prevailing theory points to the Romans. When they conquered Carthage, which is in modern-day Tunisia, they named the province Africa Proconsularis. The name Africa itself is believed to derive either from a local Berber tribe called the Afri, or perhaps from a Phoenician word, afar, meaning dust or earth. It was a regional name that eventually, through colonial expansion and European mapping, got applied to the entire continent.
So it was essentially a colonial imposition, a name that started small, a regional descriptor, and then ballooned to encompass this vast, diverse land. It's kind of like if someone colonized North America and decided to call the whole continent Florida because that's where they landed first.
Exactly! That's a perfect analogy, Jane. It's a name that doesn't originate from the people who lived there, who cultivated the land, who built the civilizations. It's an external label. And when you think about the power of names, how they shape identity, how they carry meaning, it really starts to sink in why this is such a significant point.
It really does. It's not just semantics, it's about reclaiming narrative, reclaiming history. But you mentioned other names too. I've heard Kemet thrown around, but I thought that was ancient Egypt specifically.
You're absolutely right to make that distinction, Jane. Kemet, meaning black land, was indeed the name for ancient Egypt, specifically referring to the fertile black soil along the Nile, contrasting with the red land of the desert. While immensely significant and a foundational civilization, Kemet was a part of Alkebulan, not the name for the entire continent. It's crucial not to conflate them, as sometimes happens in discussions.
That makes sense. So Alkebulan is the broader, continental name, and Kemet is a specific, powerful region within it. It's like calling the United States New York. It's a major part, but not the whole.
Precisely. And understanding that distinction helps us appreciate the complexity and richness of indigenous history without oversimplifying or misattributing names. Alkebulan offers a perspective that acknowledges the vastness and diverse peoples of the continent as a whole, united by this foundational Mother of Mankind identity.
It's truly eye-opening. And I guess for many, especially those in the diaspora, learning these names must be incredibly empowering. It's like finding a missing piece of your identity puzzle.
It absolutely is. For so long, the narrative has been dominated by external perspectives, by colonial legacies. To uncover these original names, to understand their profound meanings, is a form of decolonization, not just of land, but of mind, of history, of identity. It allows people to reconnect with a heritage that was, in many ways, obscured or even erased.
And it makes you wonder about other places too, doesn't it? What other lands are we calling by names that aren't their own? It really challenges your whole understanding of geography and history.
Exactly. It opens up a whole new way of looking at the world. Every place has a story, and often, the names we use are just scratching the surface of those stories. For Alkebulan, it's about acknowledging a rich history of self-naming, self-definition, that existed for millennia before European contact.
So what's the goal here? Is it about actively trying to switch from Africa to Alkebulan in everyday language? Or is it more about the awareness and the knowledge?
That's a fantastic question, Jane, and honestly, it's a complex one. For some, the goal is to actively reclaim and use Alkebulan as a form of cultural and linguistic decolonization. They feel that by using the original name, they are honoring their ancestors, their heritage, and correcting a historical wrong. It's a powerful political and cultural statement.
And for others?
For others, it might be more about awareness. It's about knowing the true history, understanding the origins of the names we use, and recognizing the layers of history and power embedded in language. Even if they continue to use Africa out of convenience or widespread understanding, they do so with a deeper, more informed perspective. It's about being an educated global citizen, you know? It's about recognizing that there's more to the story than what we were taught in textbooks.
I can definitely see that. It's like you can't unlearn this now. Once you know Alkebulan, it changes how you hear Africa. It adds a whole new dimension, a historical asterisk, and it makes you think about how many other aspects of history are similarly simplified or even misrepresented.
Absolutely. It's a gateway to critical thinking about history in general. It makes you question the narratives you've been given, to dig deeper, to seek out indigenous perspectives. And for a continent that has contributed so much to human civilization, from science to art to philosophy, having its original name acknowledged feels like a small but significant step in restoring its rightful place in global history.
And it also probably helps to combat some of the negative stereotypes that have unfortunately been associated with Africa over time. By going back to Mother of Mankind, Garden of Eden, it reframes the narrative in such a positive, foundational way.
Precisely, Jane. It helps to dismantle the colonial lens through which many people still view the continent. It moves away from images of darkness or underdevelopment, which are often products of external narratives, and repositions it as the birthplace of humanity, a land of incredible natural beauty, profound wisdom, and resilient cultures. It reconnects it to its inherent dignity and power.
It's really profound. I'm sitting here thinking about how often we just accept things at face value. A name is just a name, right? But then you peel back the layers, and you realize how much history, how much power, how much identity is wrapped up in just a few syllables.
It's never just a name. Names are powerful. They are containers of meaning, history, and cultural memory. And when you learn that the place you thought was Africa has always been Alkebulan to its own people, it's not just a trivial fact. It's an invitation to rewrite your internal map of the world, to challenge your assumptions, and to honor a deeper truth.
So for anyone listening who's hearing Alkebulan for the first time, what would you encourage them to do next, beyond just internalizing this new information?
I'd say start by researching. Look up Alkebulan, look up Kemet, delve into the history of these names. Understand the arguments for and against their wider adoption. Most importantly, start thinking critically about the names of other places, cultures, and even people. Ask yourself, what's the origin? Who named it? What does that name truly represent? Because once you start asking those questions, a whole new world of understanding opens up.
That's a fantastic takeaway. It's about becoming a more informed and conscious global citizen, isn't it? Not just passively accepting the labels we're given, but understanding the stories behind them. Dawn, this has been truly illuminating. I'm going to be thinking about Alkebulan every time I hear Africa now.
That's exactly the goal, Jane, to spark that curiosity, that deeper understanding. Because in knowing its true name, we begin to truly appreciate the Mother of Mankind for all its glorious history and potential. Thanks for joining me on this journey today.
And thank you, Dawn, for bringing such powerful knowledge to light. What a privilege. To all our listeners, keep questioning, keep learning.
And we'll catch you next time.